I'm Spencer.
I'm Eric.
And I'm a voice in your head.
This is the Itch
Sucker.
Podcast, episode 3.
Tree.
Every Friday we upload it on YouTube and on iTunes.
Yeah.
And on your RSS feeds, so check it out there on doesthisgamesuck.com.
It's yours.
/ The Itch.
There you go.
Or you can go to theitchnetwork.com.
Enjoy that as well.
Too bad they can't see the video because he looks straight up like a wrestler. Or sucker.
You can see it on theitchnetwork.com,
brother. Check it out at WrestleMania.
I'll see you there.
So, what is the Itch Podcast? We've brought a different topic to the table. For 15 minutes, we'll talk about it. It's going to be gaming related. That's the other side of it.
Yeah. How was your day for 15 minutes?
Yeah. Well, there are podcasts like that.
Oh, God damn it.
Anyway.
So what we want to do is ask each other questions, and we want to hear your responses in the comments below if you're on YouTube.
Oh, that'd be cool. We get a whole big package of emails.
Yeah.
Is that how emails come in packages?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mailman
Delivered by
comes
the
up.
postman. Your daddy.
And then the milkman comes and says hi. He drops off his milk, too.
Bangs the mom.
Oh, God.
Hey. All right, before we get started.
All in a day's work.
Justin, what games are you playing?
I'm playing Dungeon Siege. The first Dungeon Siege. Gonna do a review on that. A retro review.
A review?
Yeah.
Do we do reviews?
We do reviews.
Excellent.
Not every week.
Dude.
We do. Sound like you're at gunpoint.
So you've been playing Dungeon Siege?
Dungeon Siege. I just started. I'm gonna make a little wizard. He's gonna suck because I hear they're very hard to play. I've been playing a little bit of. I got Drive Club.
I did too.
And I got it because you got it.
Wait, is it free on
It's
PSN?
free, yeah.
Yeah.
You get a portion of the game unlocked. I start driving. The first 10 seconds, I turned out of control. I was like, "Fuck this game!" I just turned it off.
Seriously, the controls on it are fucking janky.
It's just fucked. And then I tried playing Styx for like an hour, and I couldn't. I don't know. Maybe I need to give it more chance. And obviously, I've been playing Final Fantasy and a little bit of Final Fantasy. That's pretty much it. I want to say Battlefield, but I haven't even touched Battlefield.
Gotcha.
What about you?
Me? That's a great question. I've been playing Super Mario World. I beat that with the family.
The Fan Bam?
The original for SNES?
SNES.
Wow.
On the Wii U.
Nice.
Virtual console. Yes. Thank God for
That's why you
save
needed
states.
the Elgato.
Thank God for
Okay.
save states.
That's all I can say. I'm playing Agario. It's a little game that's on the internet.
Intronet.
It's also on my phone. I found that out at work, which I feel sorry for my work because they will.
I can see how that would be.
They will officially get no production out of me. That's for sure. That game is addictive as fuck.
Yeah.
And then I was playing, of course, League of Legends, just keeping up with my friends. That's where my friends are.
Keep my stats up.
And then I'm playing some other some games that I'll be reviewing pretty soon, but I already mentioned them, so no big deal. What about you, Eric? What games have you been playing in your heavy gaming schedule?
Oh, God. I've been playing a lot of patch updaters.
Oh, that's a good one.
That game consists of loading up all of your games that you currently own and then just downloading the patches in the most recent version so that you could then click play.
That's addictive.
But you don't.
Last
You don't
last
click play.
night, I loaded up every one of my games, and I'm like, which one am I going to play? I'm just going to start updating them until I decide. And then I fell asleep. I haven't had a chance to play. I did play 15 minutes of Shining Force. Shining Force 2. Played about 15 minutes of that. Or Shining Force 1. Yeah, Shining Force 1. I played about 15 minutes of that. Other than that, nothing. I have not had a chance or opportunity to get some gaming time in. I've been either sleeping or working on the Itch stuff.
Gotcha. You are a producer. We all appreciate you.
And you are an Eric. We appreciate that too.
I don't really care for the name.
No, you're the only Eric I know. Actually, wait.
I got you that Coke that says love.
You did.
So there you go.
Love.
Love him. So, you guys ready to get started?
Yes. I'm
Who
ready
wants-
to get stewarded.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Ready, go.
Okay, so my actual question to the crowd, to the audience, to everybody, not the Itchinites.
Itchinese.
Itchinese?
Yeah.
The language? Or the Itchinese? Like,
Oh yeah, we have our own language.
no, we don't. Was what are some of your earliest gaming experiences? And this can also tie into what are your most fond ones and all that stuff. And I can say right off the bat, one of my earliest experiences, I've two just really short ones. First is, I remember playing Sonic 2, and my brother never let me play a Sonic. I was always Tails. And I was,
Little brother.
yeah, I was a little bitch in that
That's
one.
how
It's
you
like,
go. That's how it goes.
I was like, this is fucking dumb. I was like, why am I even playing this?
No.
I used to hate him for that. And then I remember playing Gunstar Heroes, another one. This time I wasn't a sidekick, alright? I fucking ran that bitch. I was a beast on that game. I was killing motherfuckers left and right. I'm surprised I didn't beat that game. That game gets fucking hard. But yeah, earliest experiences.
I think one of my early experiences. It's kind of shameful, but it's also a testament to how awful of a human being I am. Is that I met my cousins in Chicago, and I knew that they had Ninja Turtles for the NES. And I see them maybe once, and I'm not at the time. I'd probably seen them twice in my life. And we got off the plane, we go visit them in Chicago, and then I head straight for their basement because I knew they had Ninja Turtles. I was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And I just slipped in there, turned on the NES, and started hacking it out at Ninja Turtles.
So you were like, what, 6?
Something like that, 6 or 7 or something like that. Definitely not 27.
We're all young here.
I have a similar story like that. It might be a little worse. I'll share off camera first and see what you guys think. 'Cause it's kind of dickish. For me, one of my earliest gaming memories was actually in Shining Force 2. I was not of age to play this game because the reading level was a lot higher and it required a lot of reading to play this game.
Yeah.
But my uncle, basically like my big brother, was always playing this game, and I always wanted to watch him. I wanted to be like him, so I wanted to play the games he played. And in Shining Force 2, there's this section where you get a magical plank of wood or something, and you have to go to this specific tree that you visited like 6 towns ago, and then you have to put that plank, the wood plank, into the tree. It then opens up a magic door, staircase. You then go down and find a sword to then defeat this one boss. That memory sticks in my head because I was so fucking confused. At that point, I was like, okay, where do I go? And it's open world, so you can go and run anywhere you want, and there's random battle, like not random battles, but battles you've already fought in the past that can regenerate. But it's so rare. But like I always hated it because I'd be like, damn it, I don't want to fight this battle. I want to know where to go. And it was before strategy guides and the internet was a thing, so you couldn't look it up.
Oh.
No.
So it required me to then restart the game and actually go through and try and figure it out again. That was one of my earliest memories of video games.
Damn. I remember.
And I was like 6 or 7 around then too.
I was living in Wisconsin, and my dad was like really into like video games with us, and we were playing on the Sega Saturn. Me and my brother were playing Tomb Raider, the first one. Or actually, I was watching him because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, ooh, wow, whoa. And, he beat it or whatever. And I think it's kind of funny. Me and my brother were crying in bed because, and we're in a bunk bed, and we're crying in bed because we realized, even then about the industry, that Sega was dying. And we're like, we're going to need a PlayStation soon.
Dude, I love your dad like talking to you like, kids, I gotta tell you something. Sega doesn't have a lot of legs left.
Well, it's kind of sad because, believe it or not, about, I want to say like 2 or 3 months later, we got a PlayStation, and my dad was like, hey, I know this is hard.
Like, I don't want another video game console.
He's like, here's Tomb Raider 2, here's Final Fantasy 7, and here's Resident Evil 2. And I was like, yeah! And I remember specifically all of us playing Final Fantasy 7 had no fucking clue what to do. I was like, why can't I move my character?
Yeah.
Because you're in the first battle in the Midgar reactor, or the Mako reactor, you're just like, the fuck do I do? And I remember my brother was playing, he's he's like, I don't know what to do. Gave it to my dad. My dad's like, he's pressing all kinds of buttons. He's like, see, I attacked. He's like, you see that shit? And I remember being like, I'm never gonna play another game like this again. I was like, this game sucks.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I'm going back to Bubsy.
Yeah. Bubsy 3D.
I had two friends growing up. They were twins, and they had like every gaming console. I think they still do. Like I think their parents have them right now, but it's every like the NES, Super NES, Sega. Like they have everything. I think except for Sega Saturn and Dreamcast. I think are the only two that they didn't have.
Skippable.
But
Not the
they have,
Dreamcast. I'll say that.
they have like everything. So I always remember like we used to like get together and they would always be playing all these interesting games, and it's kind of the same thing you're talking about. Like you didn't know what the hell to do, but I always enjoyed watching them play and commenting and trying to help them figure out the puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
So like a lot of my early gaming memories is just watching other people play and like trying to help, like basically being the Tails to their gaming session, like they're Sonic, I'm Tails, and I'm just kind of like, hey, go here, guys. Like, hey, this guy earlier said that he likes cherries. We should go get the cherry tree. Like, that's pretty much.
He's gonna love it.
Yeah, like I was your Navi.
Yeah.
Like I was just kind of following you around and telling you what ideas and stuff.
One game memory I have was, remember when Blockbuster was a thing?
Yeah.
No.
Justin's 12, by the way.
Hey guys.
When Blockbuster was a thing, we rented a game called Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously, it's an RPG like a Final Fantasy would be.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know what that was. We just thought, hey, it's a Mario game and it looks kind of cool.
You're gonna love it.
So we rented it, and me and my brother, I'm a twin, so me and my brother would just take turns all the time. Like, you lose a life, I start. These are the only games we ever played at the time. Well, I was playing that game, and I was like, all right, as soon as I die, you can play. He's like, all right, sounds good. I played that game for 5 hours straight. Because at the beginning, all you do is talk to everybody and just jump around. You can't really die because there's a lot of tutorials.
Yeah.
And I was just playing that game, and Greg was like crying. He's like, "I'm never playing this game." And I was like, "Just wait, I haven't died yet." And we just been playing. And my mom came in and just gave me hell for it. Just like, screamed at me.
Motherfucker! Get your shit together!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I had every time I get a new console, there's always that level of like disbelief. So this is fast forwarding a little bit to when I had the PlayStation 2, and I think I talked about it a little bit. My dad, I don't know, my dad was like in a bad mood or something like that. He's like, "I'll get you a fucking PlayStation 2." He wraps
Dude,
it.
I wish my dad would get in a bad mood and buy me a console.
Well,
You'll learn now. This will teach you.
You'll do your chores on time. So he bought us the PlayStation 2, and we totally thought he wasn't going to do it. It was for Christmas. Totally thought he wasn't going to do it because me and my brother were really into Gundam then, and we're, like, you know, the Gundam display sets, like you actually build them and stuff. It's super fun. Like, it's so cool. I want to do it again. And eventually. But what ended up happening was there was no box for the PlayStation. I was like, no, you know. And he's like, he wrote something. It's like, for the selfish twins. I was like, the fuck? I'm offended now thinking about it. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. So anyway, what happened was inside of it was two games. It was Metal Gear Solid 2, and it was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, I think 3.
Damn.
And I was like, but we don't have a game to play it on. My brother's like, you idiot. He has the PlayStation 3. And my dad's like, nope. And I was like, we don't have a game to play it on.
System.
Yeah, or system. Yeah, I was freaking out because I was like, oh, we don't have one, though. It's like, he messed up. No, you dumbass. So we loaded up and we started playing. And I remember playing Tony Hawk 3 first in the Foundry level. And the only thing I kept doing was, oh, the graphics are so amazing. I'm like, oh my god.
This is so next gen.
It's like, oh god, the future's here. It's so stupid. And then
I will have to say, though, when I picked up a PS3, I did the same thing with Devil May Cry 4.
Yeah.
When I picked that up for the PlayStation, I had a huge box TV that was like 60 pounds. I had that plugged into that doing like 480p, and I was playing GameCube or Wii on it. I don't remember which. But like going from the Nintendo Wii and GameCube to the PlayStation 3, even though it was 480p graphics, I was sitting there just like, what?
Look at it, it's circular.
Everything looks so amazing. And then that forced me to go buy a new TV.
I recall going into a Blockbuster. All my childhood memories were around Blockbuster because we could never afford real games.
God
So
damn.
we always just had to rent them. And I remember going into a Blockbuster around the time the N64 had come out. And we never had an N64 until years later. We had a Super Nintendo for the longest time. And I went in there and saw Mario, the Mario 64. Like, they had it where you could play it. And all he did was, like, walk around in the little world, but it was in 3D. My mind was just shattered. I was like, the future's here.
Oh my
It's
God.
like an outside moment. Like, the gaming will never be the same, Mom.
Shut up.
Yeah.
It's like, you stupid bitch. God damn.
Yeah.
Real quick story. The first time I ever saw N64, like,
Yeah.
no joke, was... So I had a PlayStation at the time, and I was, like, essentially a Sony fan kid. And my mom was taking us to this private school, and we had to pick up this guy. I forget his name. It's like Peter or Chris or something like that. And we had to pick him up, and he rode with us. Or actually, she dropped us off, and we rode with him and his mom to the school. And what happened was, he had an N64, and this is the first time I ever saw Star Fox. And I was like, oh wow, the game looks great, but this guy was disgusting. Him himself, like he would like eat his boogers and shit, and he was like disgusting as fuck, smelly as shit. And I was
Fuck
like,
him.
I hate Nintendo people. I was like, you're disgusting, just like your console. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was an idiot. But
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
From my early days of gaming, when Twisted Metal 2 was a thing, I was obsessed. Like, my
Dude, that game-
personality...
Amazing.
Yeah. My personality is I'll find a couple games and stick to those 2-3 games. I don't game hop all that often. So a lot of my childhood was Shining Force 2, Sonic 3 with Knuckles, the expansion, and then Twisted Metal 2 was like the next when I got to the next gen, which was PlayStation. There was cheat codes to unlock characters in that game. L1 up down left is Minion, and then it's like
He was too fucking...
overpowered.
Minion was a huge guy.
He was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tank or whatever.
That had Warthog's ability with the freeze shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god, he was a monster.
You fight him
Yeah.
in like the Aztec level, right? Like
Amazon.
Montezuma
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
I think it's called the Amazon. But playing that game, I went to school and a bunch of my friends were all into it and stuff. And there's this one guy named Tom, I want to say, and he told me there was a cheat code to unlock Darktooth.
Darktooth.
Sweet Tooth's father, the very last boss in
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, I remember that.
He gave me this long ass code on paper.
Oh god.
I went home and tried to punch that thing in for like a half hour. Got my dad in the room, which at the time I don't think he knew how to hold the controller. He was still like, "Where's your A and B button?
Where's the
Where's the
start
joystick?" At that time, he wasn't too into gaming. Then I got my uncle, like my big brother. He came in and he was like, "Dude, it's not possible." And I'm like, "No, it is. My friend swore it is." And I was just so naive and just believed my friend.
Look,
He's
fuck
like-
your friend.
But and then you look at the code and it's got like a trapezoid in there and like a hexagon.
You're like, wait a minute.
It's like,
Yeah, he was like, "You have to do it from the main screen." And I remember like halfway, like 25% through the code, you'd hit start, and it would push you into the next screen. But on there it said has to be done from the main screen. I'm like, how the fuck can you do this from the main screen? When you hit start, it moves you over to single player, multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
Another thing too, I have to commend my parents for. I to this day am convinced that PlayStation games were no more than $20.
oh really?
Yeah.
Because that was about the greatest hits.
Yep. Because
Smart.
every game that I ever got was always $20 or less. Like
Shit's smart.
I was talking to my parents not too long ago about how the cost of video games rising, and they're like, "No, they've always been this much." And I'm like, "No, like I remember like seeing them for like $20 and $40. Like that was like the most I ever saw games for." And they're just kind of like, "No, they were $60." And I was like, "How? Like I don't remember anything more than 40
Yeah.
Like we
because they
chipped you.
kept me out of that aisle."
Yeah.
But what's genius about that tactic is that one, you get it for like a discount price, which is awesome because you get like the best games. But that's the other thing is you get the best games too because you know it was successful.
Yeah.
It's So they were smart to do that.
Yeah.
I commend them. I wish every parent was that clever.
Yeah.
But
All right.
Cool.
So next question. Shall I go or do you want to go?
go for it.
All right. So my question is, if you were to create a video game, what would it be about, and what would it be like? Who wants to go first, or should I lay the ground?
Yeah, there you go.
If I were creating a game, it would definitely be a tactical RPG. In the vein of Tactics Ogre, where you recruit people who are nothing. Like, you have male and female soldiers. And then from then on, however you use them and whatever abilities, they gain affinity towards that certain style. So, like, if you have a regular soldier and he's using magic, he slowly becomes a mage. And then at a certain point, he can promote into a mage.
Yeah.
So you can completely customize your army.
You would like Dungeon Siege.
Oh, yeah?
It's just like that.
Oh. So a world like, the gameplay like that. So tactical, you move your characters like on a chessboard. And then each character has their growth and how you can evolve them, basically, like Pokemon.
Yeah.
You're evolving and building your army exactly how you want it. I like the story and involvement of Fire Emblem, so I would like some story being in it. I don't like all the dialogue while I'm fighting. I just want to play the fights. I hate when you walk up to someone, it's like, do you want to talk to this person and build a relationship? No, we're in the middle of a mission. We'll do that back in the barracks where we can pork.
Well, hold on though. But isn't that how you recruited people from the other team in Fire Emblem?
Slept
In
with
a
them?
lot of games, that's how you recruit. But that's there's actually an ability in Tactics Ogre called Persuade, where you can persuade them to be on your team. So if you're fighting an enemy player, you can persuade anybody.
Gotcha.
Just with ups and downs and stuff. But the thing I didn't like is full-on dialogue as I'm in the middle of the thing,
Makes sense.
telling me about how they were a kid and how they grew up and they had troubled past and this and that and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, great. Can I kill you now? I didn't like the conversation in combat.
Yeah.
But I do like the recruiting thing, and if certain people do run into each other, sure, fine. They can recruit, persuade.
Gotcha.
I would also like it to be, and this is where it kind of gets hazy for me as to how to execute this. But I want it to be online, and I want multiple opponents to be in a single match. Like, if you remember Warcraft 3 and 2, how you had multiple players. So if you had a base, and I had a base, we would all three be going at it, and you guys could ally together and come get me, and then you'd have to fight it out between the two of you. But basically a tactic RPG where there's multiple opponents, and they can join in at any point of
So you would
point
want
of
it
the combat.
PvP,
Yeah, basically, yeah.
but mixed with the story.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's an online game that actually does it. It's called Doofus. Yeah, pardon the name. It's called Doofus, but it's legitimately like that, where it is a tactics online. You level up by playing tactics, essentially.
Wait, is that Wakfu?
Wakfu as well. Yeah.
But it's not exactly what he was saying.
Well, I mean,
But they do have the tactics
in the
online
basic,
part
yeah.
of it.
Gotcha. So the other thing to it is that I want it to be endless, basically. So no matter what, I can keep progressing. So I basically want the god power thing that you guys always talk about. I don't want that to be I want a level 5 to be able to kill level 1 still. So I want the progression to be really slow because I want the level cap to be 250. So that I can continue to go online and stuff, and then there be PvE aspects. So as I'm working through a dungeon trying to kill a PvE guy to get this crazy sword, someone else could come in and try and kill me while I'm trying to take it.
Interesting.
Damn, you thought about this.
I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Nuts. The sky's the limit.
MMO meets tactical RPGs.
So, because it's going to be my career, I've thought about it and been like, oh, hey, what's a really cool idea? And actually I have two that are based off of two different inspirations. Well, shit, they're actually based off the same thing. They have a core concept of Devil May Cry in them. Because when I was a kid, Devil May Cry just rubbed me right there.
Where is
TJ.
that?
In the right way.
DJ Diddles over here.
Yeah. Chicka, chicka. So anyway, what ended up happening? What would happen is you have your the first game, and this one I honestly thought of in the shower, but I was like, it's a really cool concept. So you're a musician.
Okay.
You're a music teacher. And one day you're teaching, and imagine Scott Pilgrim-y animations, okay? You're a music teacher, and then you fall asleep in class, right? Like, all the students are gone, you're like, I'm working late, fall asleep in class. You wake up in a castle, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And what happens is you have historical figures who are, like, got Mozart, who's, like, guiding you, and he's like, hey, man, you want to learn some shit? And then as you go a little bit further, you have, like, Axl Rose comes up to you, he's like, I'm going to teach you the guitar technique, and you can level up and use the guitar, but it's Castlevania, Metroidvania progression. So you can switch your weapons and be like, I'm a guitarist, and it switches your entire theme. So if you are, say, like Flea from freaking Red Hot Chili Peppers comes up to you and he's like, I'm going to teach you about bass. And then you're like, boom, and then like you can kill a boss with like a special, or not kill, but you can beat a boss. It's like really kid friendly, like that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You can beat a boss by using like a base finisher.
So when you switch to Flea's base powers, you don't change costume too, right?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like you could, like it's like a different theme. So maybe you get like his kind of like a setup.
Sock.
Yeah, maybe you're shirtless
friendly.
and stuff. Yeah. And just like slight like differences between them and stuff like that. So say for like who's a real, we'll just do Travis Barker because he's the only one that comes to mind right now as a drummer, for instance. He's not like super legendary, but he's good.
He's getting there.
Yeah. So we'll have say Travis Barker is like your teacher.
And that guy's on fire.
And what?
His plane crash.
Oh, is
He
okay?
just made a joke. What?
Is he okay?
That was a long time ago.
Oh.
It was a couple years ago.
He suffered from burns, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever. Over these hot beats.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did not know that. So anyway, you have Travis Barker, right? And he's like, all right, I'm going to teach you how to drum. And then what happens is when you kill a boss, it goes into like a drum solo or something, and you're like drumming on his head, and then he turns into your currency or whatever. So I thought that'd be cool. And then like, I was like, oh, for a sequel, it'll be about dancing.
Dance.
So in the beginning,
dance.
you have like you have classical dancer, and then you have like a country guy. It's like, I'm gonna teach you how to hold down, and then you get to like the elevated level where you have like a b-boy or something, and he's like, I'm gonna teach you how to break, and then you could like freaking do windmills on top of a boss or something like that, and school him on the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a kid-friendly one. I have another one, but that one takes way too long to even process. Go ahead.
All right, so mine is kind of high level. I'm not. I actually tried to make it one time on RPG Maker. It is an RPG. Getting that out of the way early.
Imagine that.
It's very. I have the ending, but I'll never make the game, so I'll just spoil the ending anyway. Because who cares? I would want it to start out very as an exploration game. It'd be a kind of like an RPG for the Super Nintendo. Kind of that style where it's above. Maybe PlayStation where it has pre-rendered backgrounds. That'd be tight. I'd go for that. But you explore a world, and it's basically there's nobody there, and you kind of have to find your way around just using like objects throughout the world to like match this up and then this. But it's all progressed however you want to do it. So there's no like straight way to go through the game or anything. But you just want to keep going further and further and further.
So, what do you mean by like matching objects? Is your character blind or something, or?
No, you just like a puzzle,
Okay.
like a Zelda game or something.
So, like,
or like
Sun.
almost like a Metroidvania style, but not 2D.
Okay.
So, but there's no enemies at first, and it's kind of like a zombie thing at the end, but not really zombies, just something more creative. And
Cordyceps.
Eventually you will find enemies and stuff, and you'll start fighting, and it'll have kind of a Witcher 3 style where you have like the option to help people, and you'll get party members, and you could easily like lose party members forever. And what I would want is the battle style from Chrono Cross, but more like Chrono Cross and Persona or something combined into like one like really complicated battle system.
You want to overly count.
Yeah. But when you master it, you really feel like good about yourself. Because Chrono Cross was still my favorite battle system of all time. I loved it.
I can totally see this being made in Minecraft. Like
But the ending is so genius in my head. I was thinking about like the artsiest ending you could find for a game.
We're all monsters.
And the ending was gonna be that when you fight the final boss, he just throws more and more like zombie creatures at you, and then the credits just roll while you're doing it. And then you eventually die because you can never beat all the zombies.
Oh,
So you'll
God.
never actually win.
Isn't that great?
I'm pretty sure my brother is sitting there like, fuck that. Like,
But I would love that. I think because like the ending is essentially before the credits, so whatever that'll be the ending, and then you just go and end up fighting it. Maybe you're defending some people that are leaving that you saved or something.
Yeah.
And then you just fight until you die.
so
That would be the
I
end.
recently just played Smash Brothers and actually beat the story mode in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And as the credits are rolling, you're punching them and like fighting all of them and stuff. And it says, "Hey, you hit 60% out of whatever."
Yeah.
So like you're still controlling your character, and the credits are going.
Yeah.
That would, I'd be so fucking pissed.
Yeah. and-
But it would make me emotional, so I would
Right,
have to
right.
give you credit.
You'd be like, oh shit, like this is what the world is now. Like you cannot win.
You
in
would
this
have
environment.
like an elitist like group of hardcore fans that are like, no, it speaks to you on a different level. Like, look at the transcendence.
Dude, I would nail that audience.
yeah, I have a handful of friends that are,
Oh
that are
my
like that,
God.
the artsy aspect of it.
They would be like, oh my gosh, no, it talks about the futility of living in an environment like this. And you're just like, okay, all right. And they're like, no, but think about it from another level.
But also think about like if I made the game in a world where the internet wasn't a thing, like how many people would say you can beat that game?
Oh god, how many kids on the
Yeah,
playground?
kids on the playground, I was like, I beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Just
enter
like-
that cheat code, I swear.
Yeah, I had a dude tell me in Final Fantasy VII, you can save Ares with the Game Shark code, and Cloud takes out his sword and blocks Sephiroth's attack, and you fight Sephiroth. No. Game Shark doesn't translate to just an entirely new environment,
Yeah.
coding and everything like that.
There was a fight in a game that I really loved called Beyond the Beyond, where you're supposed to die, but if you put the Game Shark cheats in, you can actually win. Like, and it fucking breaks the game. Like, it takes you a while to get back on track to the normal story after you win this fight. Because, like, you're supposed to do 1 damage to this guy, and they gave her, like, 9,999 health, and you do 1 damage. Requires patience.
Sounds
But
like
you can kill him, and I did, and I won. Took me like 4 days. I just had to leave the PlayStation on. Sorry, Dad, about the electricity bill. He would kill me if he actually listens to this. 'Cause he would constantly hate.
So you won't be here for next podcast.
I will not be here.
As a little quick one, because we got a little bit more time. So when the PT hype came around, right, and everyone's like, oh, here's how you make a real horror game. I was really thinking about it. I was like, oh man, what would be a really sick horror game? And the concept that I came up with was horror games are best when you're left in the dark, when there's a lot of mystery behind it, when there's a lot of shit that you don't know about, like what could this mean, or stuff that could be interpreted. And the psychological stuff's cool, but I was thinking like a straight up literal Saw, like, but done good. Like, you wake up and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And you're in a completely trapped out place, and you have these other survivors that can or cannot die. Some of them are, narrative important. Some of them are like, hey, yeah, fucking kill them. And what happens is that determines your ending. And pretty much the whole concept of it is you navigating and fighting, like, sadistic people who are in there that have gone insane and stuff like that. Essentially, that's what the Saw game's about, but done 1,000 times better. And
Is that like a Danganronpa? I guess that's more of a visual novel, but
you mean the one about essentially objection? Freaking, I know what you're talking
Ace
about.
Attorney.
Yeah, it was a DS
Phoenix
game,
Wright.
wasn't it?
no, it was PS Vita.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it turned into an anime, and
Yeah.
no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but that wasn't really, at least the way the anime portrayed it, wasn't really like as saw-y. Like, of course, yeah, people died and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that, but in this one, what would happen would be you would have your ammo would be limited to what was in the environment. So if you had a brick, 3 hits, the brick's gone. And stuff like that. And you're like, oh shit, I don't have a stick. And there's like 3 guys there, so it make you like more survival horror-esque.
Gotcha.
And by the end of everything, what it essentially be is a Bioshock / fucking M. Night Shyamalan twist, where you're like, okay, everything's in working order. All right, let's bring some people in here, you know?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh shit, I'm a fucking dick, or something
Oh,
like
because
that.
you were testing everybody else
Yeah,
out.
you're testing it and stuff
Oh,
like that. You're like, how about if I throw myself in here? Can I throw people off and, you know, shit like that? And can you actually survive this? It's like, oh, I need to make, you know, that room in 7-3 harder, you know, like, or whatever the case is.
I actually had an idea for a similar twist,
Yeah.
where you're traveling a poisoned land that just got poisoned, and you go to different towns, and they're all like, they have the sickness and how they deal with it.
Mhm.
And at the very end, the twist is that you were carrying the disease.
And you're like, it was me.
And like every town you visited, you infected it when you got there.
Yeah, and
that's why they were all sick.
And the credits this time is just them coughing.
It's him committing suicide.
Yeah, it's just like... All right, so now for our final topic,
Oh, is it my turn?
Spencer Denser.
Unfortunately.
I wanted to hear. Oh, I'll start. I wanted to hear your guys' opinions, or not your opinions, because I don't care about that. I wanted to hear your guys' stories on your most embarrassing gaming moments.
Okay.
I'll start you off with an example of mine. World of Warcraft, Cataclysm, new expansion just came out. I was probably 10 days in or something like that.
Mhm.
I was doing one of the dungeons, wasn't with any friends of mine, and we queued up. Everything was going well. There's like bridge, and there's like a drop that you'll just die if you fall down the bridge. And so we're fighting a mob on one side, and I'm the healer. So I slowly start backing up because I think I'm going to draw aggro, and I go across the bridge, and there's another mob there, and I aggro them. I'm like, oh shit. So I pull back, and they just charge in and attack our team. My noble tank is just like, oh, I got this, and he jumps up forward, and then I walk off the cliff and just die. So
you were like, oh, guess we should wipe. You just
pretty
jumped.
much.
Wipe.
Yeah. Unintentional troll, basically, is what that was.
Uh,
That was mine.
Justin, you got one?
Oh, shit. So, you guys remember Saga Frontier 2?
Yeah, I know of it. I never played it.
Alright, it's a pretty good game. At least that's what I remember it being. And my brother was playing it, and I was just watching it, and I was like, oh, play the game. And I remember, like, the animation on the game reminded me of Fire Emblem on, like, GBA. That's the first time I saw really good animation in a game, and I was like, holy shit, it looks great, you know? Like, the way critical hits looked in Fire Emblem was, like, sick. And in that game, you know, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, it looks like you're really in a fight and stuff. And... my brother was just like grinding or something like that, and he fought this guy, and it was like such a real fight. Like, he hit him with a crit, and then the guy came at him and he dodged it, and they showed like the animation and stuff. I'm like, oh shit, you know, I was feeling it and I was getting into it.
Yeah.
And I was essentially I was acting out the fight. You know, I was like, oh, hit him here and all that stuff. My dad was behind me the whole time. So I'm swinging. I didn't know the door opened. I'm swinging. I'm like, yeah, get him, son. You know, whatever. And I turn around, and my dad's just like, and I was like, ah! I walked out of it. Like, I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my god! It was terrible.
Oh.
So, yeah.
And I'd have to say that MMOs in general, I've had some pretty embarrassing moments where I call them noob-esque because, one, World of Warcraft was the first MMO I ever picked up. I picked a paladin because I wanted to be able to fight yet heal. I chose the holy class because I'm like, yeah, of course paladins are holy. Like, why would I be a retribution paladin? Why is a protection? I want to be holy. I want to be able to cast spells. So I played through up to level 40 as a healer,
Jeez.
wearing cloth, leather, plate, mail, just every type of armor I could possibly think of, because I'm like, oh, this has more armor. This has more armor. And I was like, it's just boosting my stats. My stats don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, because I came from like Shining Force and like Phantasy Star Online.
He thought he was playing The Sims.
Yeah, where I was making my guy look cool, and I wasn't really worried about like the stats on him or anything. So my guy was wearing cloth this and leather that and all this stuff. I hit 40, and I'm like, all right. And mind you, at the time, level cap was 60. I couldn't fucking kill shit. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I went into a dungeon.
I see him on the forums. He's like, World of Warcraft, hardest game of all time.
Help! Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there struggling on me, and I start learning, like, oh, there's a DPS class, there's a holy class, there's a tank class, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to fight stuff, so I'm going to go be a DPS while I was being holy. So I was convinced that I could do damage and stuff, and I didn't know what recount was, I didn't know what DPS charts were. I go into like Zul'Farrak, I think, and we're running through, and I'm in holy spec, and I'm running through on the front lines like swinging a sword and shield because I'm like, man, I just keep dying. I'm gonna put on a shield to increase my resistance or armor or something. Really didn't mean shit in that game. Like wearing a shield didn't really do anything for your armor unless you were a tank. So I was supposed to be the healer because everyone was like, what spec are you guys? And I'm like, holy. So everyone thought that I was healing, but I was on the front lines fighting, and we made it pretty far because I would stop fighting to help heal, but I didn't have the mana because I didn't have the armor spec the right way to have the mana to heal people. And I took all the damage increase talent points, so I had like all my healing. I ended up doing that for like 4 months.
4 months of sucking at a game?
Yeah, but I was having a blast because solo player, like I never died playing solo. I just couldn't kill shit that quick. And my friend, we always played together, and he was a warrior, so he'd come in and smash face. But he did the same thing as I did. He didn't know what the armor specs did. He was wearing cloth leather and all that stuff. So that
spell damage was off the charts.
Yeah, dude, with that warrior. But that probably had to be. It's not like embarrassing because everybody knows. Like I was like called out, like, "Oh, you fucked up." It's embarrassing because I did it for so goddamn long and didn't think anything was wrong with it.
Back when the community was forgiving, huh?
Yeah.
They're like, he's an idiot.
That's actually back before I even engaged the community. Like I didn't even talk to anybody.
Well,
hey, what's going on? Can't talk to strangers.
Here's a quiet, embarrassing moment. I was playing League of Legends. It's somewhat recently, which is the saddest part of it. And one of my new friends contacted me, and he just sent me a request. He's like, "Hey, like one of those requests for a game. He's like, you've been invited to play the game with this guy." Didn't really read it. I've stopped reading requests. What they are, just hit accept if I like the person. And he's like, "Okay, whatever. He's cool guy, whatever." So I accepted the game. We jump in, not really looking. Whenever the loading screen happens, I switch screens and just do whatever I'm gonna do, like YouTube or something like that. I go back. We're like, game start. Okay, let's do this. We go in there. We're going in lane. I just thrashed the guy. I'm like, oh my god, I just fucking steamrolled this guy. Like, dude, this guy sucks. And I'm trash talking on the League of Legends because that's what I do. And I go into all chat. I'm like, you guys fucking suck. and I'm just trashing to death. And my team didn't say anything. They're like completely dead silent. And they're completely dead silent on the other team. And I'm just destroying it. I'm in their base, just like wrecking shit up. And I'm like, I just say in the all chat, I go like, are you guys just a bunch of bots? And then I'm like, oh fuck. It was a bot game. I was trash talking. Everyone's name was Antibot, Tarek Bot. I was fighting the computer.
What a bunch of shitbags.
It was so, and nobody said a damn thing to me the whole time.
They're like, he's got to be joking.
You're a funny guy.
God, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
wow.
I felt like an idiot.
Wow.
I would have kept talking.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fuckers, that's right, you are bots.
Yeah.
And you'll never be a human.
A bunch of Pinocchios.
So when I was in the military, like everyone knew I played games. I was the gamer guy. I was the low risk Marine because I just played video games. And they're like, oh, he's never gonna go out drunken. He's not gonna go out and fucking party and shit. Not until later, but when I first got there, I was just the gamer guy. Well, Street Fighter came out, and I was like, oh, I'm pretty decent at this game. Played it a little bit, and kind of had a reputation for usually not losing in that game. Like by Super Street Fighter 4, I was pretty good. And I was like, I usually don't lose, whatever. And Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, and I was like, yo, I will take anybody here. And my roommate at the time, he's like, oh, dude, I'll take you. And it's like, all right, fine, whatever. It kind of turned into a big deal because there were a lot of people living in the barracks at the time that I worked with. They were like, oh, yeah, I'll go over to your room. I want to see this fight. It's like, oh, it's a new game. It plays Marvel characters and shit. Like, they didn't know who, like, the Capcom characters were. But they're like, oh, Marvel. So he came over. I forgot what my team was. But they got destroyed. And it wasn't even once. It was like 6 or 7 times. I lost every single time to him. And I was just like, and people were laughing at me and going, "Oh my god, you suck!" Like, and the whole time I'm just like I was actually emotional because I'm like, this isn't how it's supposed to happen. And you know, my roommate at the time, he's like, he really likes to push your buttons. So he'll be a dick to you too. He's like, "Dude, I've been telling you since day one, you fucking suck." He's like, "You should have been aborted, bro." You know. And I was just like, the whole time I was like fighting back tears. I'm like, I'm getting fucking whooped. Like I couldn't do anything. And in Marvel, if you've ever like seen it at a higher like level play, or just the way the nature of the game works, you don't have defense. It's just you have offense. If you're hitting the other guy, even if he's blocking, you're winning. So. He just wrecked my shit like 7 or 8 times. I remember everyone walking out just being like, "Oh my god, what a fucking pussy." And I was just like, I'm going to get good at this game. Like, I'm going to get so good. But I didn't. I stopped playing.
Aw. Sorry, Justin.
Well, until Ultimate Marvel came out, and then I started playing as Virgil, and then I was too good. Because he was a good character. He was too good a character. But anyway.
See, this is where it gets hard for me because I don't really get embarrassed all that often. I kind of just own everything I do, even if I suck at it. I'm just kind of like, yep.
I remember playing Halo 2 with a group of friends, and I was at that age. I guess I just couldn't focus. Kind of like you now, where I couldn't multitask.
Mm.
Like I'd be doing that, and anything outside I couldn't do, and. Somebody came in and they're like, "Dude, you got to reload that gun. You're almost out of ammo." And I was like, "No, I'm all out of gun." And then
What?
And everyone just looked at me and was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I never lived that down.
You have gun right here.
Yeah. For the rest of my days. I always heard that.
I have one on Halo. So this is back when I first met Matt, right? One of my friends. One of my best bros. And Matt was like the nerdiest kid I ever met when I first met him. I was like, I was a PC gamer more than I was a console gamer. So like I had Time Splitters too on the PlayStation 2, but I was like, fuck that, Unreal Tournament 2003. You know? I was like, "You T?" And he's like, "I got Halo," and I was like, "Oh, well, I heard Halo's a pretty good game." He's like, "Yeah, you know, we should totally play it one time." I was like, "All right." I was like, "I'll kick your ass." He's like, "I'll take you and your brother against me at the ice level." I forgot what it's called. I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do it." He kicked the shit out of us. He beat the fuck out of me with my brother's body. Like, I couldn't believe how bad I got my ass kicked. And I was like, this is so dumb. Because I remember one of my biggest gripes with the game was I was using the assault rifle. I'm like, this should be a good weapon. And he's like, "Oh, using the pistol and killing me."
Yeah.
Like, this is dumb! Like, I was so mad. I was getting my head blown off. He was shotgunning me. I was like, what the fuck? He's killing me with every weapon. And I remember when we finished, he was like, "See, I can kick your ass." It's just like, oh my god. Like, I'm so bad at video games.
I had actually, now that I think about it, there was one recently, actually. I was getting into, I've never been a big PvP person. But I got into World of Warcraft arenas doing 3v3s, and that's where it actually starts getting really competitive. And I was playing as a new class. I was playing as a monk healer, and I had my 2 friends. They're both kind of alpha dogs, and I'm not confrontational. I typically just don't put myself into situations, but I'm perfectly fine when I'm in them. But we're in this situation where we're doing arenas, and they're telling me what I should be doing because they've been PvPing a lot more than I ever have, so I'm learning a lot. But I did get to that point where I'd caught up to them, where as long as we were fighting a team of equal skill, we were winning. But if the other team was just better or better geared than us, there wasn't much we could do. And one match, I'd be told, stick to the pillar and hump the pillar. And then the next match, I'd be told to follow them, like to chase after my DPS and make sure they don't go out of range, even if it puts me in harm's way. And I'm sitting here like, and they keep like yelling and pointing at me like it's my fault that we keep losing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I'm following the strategies that you guys are giving me. But every fucking match, if I follow your strategy, the next match it's a different strategy. And I lost my shit. I actually got mad and yelled at them. So I was like, make up your fucking minds! Like, I was like, one match I'm doing something good, the next match the same thing is bad. Like, there's so many variables in this. I don't understand this. You have to, like, explain this. And then I got embarrassed because I typically don't lose my cool like that.
Yeah.
I'm typically a very calm person, but for me to lose my shit over a video game, I was embarrassed that I actually did lose my cool. Especially with one of them I didn't know all that well. We pretty much only played video games together for like 2-3 months, and I met him through the game basically. So he didn't know me, but my other friends know me since I was like 5. So that even to him was shocking. Like, he shut his mouth right afterwards. Like, he didn't say anything because he knows if I ever lose my shit, something's wrong. Like, he needs to lay off.
Gotcha.
But I was embarrassed of my reaction.
You're only human, dog.
It was a game, and yeah,
It was a game.
game.
All right. Well, I think that's it.
I think that closes us out there, buddy.
That closes episode 3 of the Itch Podcast.
Podcast, cast.
If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check us. God, we have so many places to see us now. Check us out on.
We're everywhere.
We're like a disease. We
We're-
are an itch.
Check us out. Go to our website, theitchnetwork.com. That'll direct you over to our section on doesthisgamesuck.com. You can also check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/thisistheitch. You can also find our Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram. Do we have one of those?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't update it very much.
Okay. You can also find the audio version of this on your RSS feeds. You can also check us out on iTunes. We are literally everywhere. We actually are working on an app that you can get on iOS, Windows, and Android that will then consolidate all this stuff. So look forward to that.
Yes.
Awesome.
Do it.
And how often do we do new videos?
Every podcast on Friday.
Thanks for watching.
Man.